Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mental Health Experience. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic called We Anger Ourselves. And I have touched on this topic in a previous video talking about anger, but today we're going to really dive into how to change our perspectives in order to the fact that we might never have to be angry again way down the road in the future. Frustration is something that we all experience. Frustration is good because it helps you think, okay, this isn't working. How can I go about it? But extreme anger doesn't have any return on investment for your physical or mental health. In any situation, it is more than likely just an illusion. So I have a couple things written down. I've been doing this more often to keep myself in order because if anyone's watched my videos, I can go off on tangents sometimes. So we got to talk about how society works in this day and age. We can understand why so many people think like this. So we live in a society right now that has a lot of beliefs based around we must change our external environment to fit our internal environment. My wife Erica says this all the time. It really stuck with me all throughout my OCD recovery journey and was very, very important for my recovery journey and still is. So, we live in this society, like I said, cancel culture, you have to fit me and I don't have to change my perspectives. And we have a lot of irrational beliefs around shoulds, musts, and oughts, which come from the founder of cognitive behavioral therapy, Dr. Albert Ellis, as I've mentioned in almost every video. So, and that's a lot of the reasons why society thinks in this way, because almost everyone does it. We've been grown up around it. Oh, you must change for me, and change coming from your internal environment isn't really talked about too much. And I also understand, if you've never been aware of something like this or never read anything from the works of Albert Ellis, it's which does come from Stoicism, from the Greek and Roman philosophers 2,500 years ago. It's just a very rational way of looking at life. So I've given this example before, but I think it's really important to give it again. And that example is to show you that, and I will talk about this, I'm not saying the event doesn't have a place on determining how your anger outcome is, because it does, because that's completely invalidating someone's experience. But more than likely, they have found that it's not the driver of your anger. It's a part of it, but your perspective on the situation is the main driver of why you're angry. So you're on a train platform, you're facing the train, excuse me, and trains are going by. And someone starts poking you with a stick. And you're getting angry and angry, and you're saying to yourself, oh man, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to freak out. Anger, your blood pressure is going up, your stress is going, and you finally turn around to snap, and it's a blind person poking with their poking stick. What happens? Within seconds, you say, oh crap, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you. This situation didn't change. Your perspective changed. That is the best example Albert Ellis has ever given to describe how anger is just a perception. And again, more than likely, you're going to be angry in your life again. That would be irrational and non-realistic, not realistic to think that you would never be angry again. But you can really bring your anger down by adopting these different perspectives on life. So what does this all come down to? Unconditional other acceptance. I've talked about this quite a bit. We have unconditional self, unconditional other, and unconditional life acceptance. It's just a rational way of going about life. So unconditional other acceptance is accepting people for their fallibility, realizing that humans make mistakes, realizing that if a human says something that really angers you, it's just one opinion they have, and humans are so complex. There is no such thing as a good or a bad person. There are just people who do good and bad acts. It's impossible to characterize a whole entire person because of the millions of personality traits they have and different experiences and so forth. So most people accept people conditionally. If this person does so and so or X for me, I'll be happy. If they act this way, it makes me angry. Most people go about life accepting themselves, life, and especially others, which is the biggest thing I struggle with. I don't struggle so much with unconditional self-acceptance as I do unconditional other acceptance, is that again, people are fallible. They make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. This is why perfectionism is a highly irrational belief when you start to break it down, causing lots of potential emotional and physical problems in the way you go about life. So, and people don't even realize that they have these beliefs. I know I didn't until I started learning about this stuff. So, again, going back to your experience is not discredited. That's not the way to go about it. But the experience itself is not the driving factor. Because if it is, if you took 100 people that got into a fender bender, if the experience caused the anger, all 100 people would be angry. But we don't see that. We see a wide variety of responses. Oh man, I didn't even like my car, as I said in the last video. I get to get a new car. Oh man, this person ruined my day. Oh my gosh, I hope this other person is okay. So it has validity, but it is not the primary factor. But society is very big on thinking that the activating event that gets in the way of your goals is the main driver of your emotional distress, whether it's chronic anxiety, depression, anything like that. When in reality, it's the B, the belief you're holding between the activating event and the C, the emotional consequence. That's the driving factor. Again, it's not the only thing, but it is the driving factor. And this is a whole learning process. If you ever get interested in learning about Stoicism or the works of Albert Ellis, it's almost like learning a new language. And one of the main reasons why people get absolutely discouraged is because they don't, when you've had the habits for 20 years, like I was so judgmental, those are not going to go away in a month or two. This is unconditional self, other, and life acceptance. Typically takes years of practice. It's like learning a whole new language. So again, frustration, as Dr. Albert Ellis says, is very healthy. I know some people might not know Dr. Albert Ellis is now considered the most influential person in psychotherapy. He's above Sigmund Freud, who primarily used psychoanalysis looking into the past, thinking that your past was the primary reason. The trauma you held was the reason you are today. And we now know that that's not true. It has merit, but it's not the driving factor. So again, like I said, this takes time. It won't come easy. There will be ups and downs. There's going to be probably a bunch of times you're just like, oh man, what the heck? I'm trying really hard, and you can't force this stuff. I will make another video on this channel about acceptance versus forcing acceptance. Most people, including myself, anyone who tries to learn this stuff, especially if you're going through something like OCD recovery, you're more than likely going to try and force it. And that is it's problematic. So to summarize again, title of the video, we anger ourselves. Again, the activating event is not the primary cause. It is our belief. The train example I gave is a great example explaining this. And this is not easy. And this is what he used when he created cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the gold standard in psychotherapy all throughout mental health disorders, whether it's body dysmorphic disorder, whether it's obsessive compulsive disorder, whether it's anything like that, people who have extreme self-hatred or high irrational beliefs, breaking down and disputing these irrational beliefs, starting to see life a little bit more rationally, developing and adopting unconditional self, life, and other acceptance. Again, unconditional other acceptance, my wife will tell you, or anyone that's known me, I was extremely judgmental. This is something if someone said something I didn't like, I would cut them out off for the rest of my life. And that is not a good trait to have. You can do it, but it's not going to teach you anything. And having difficult conversations, as I mentioned in previous videos, is really important for life structure and grit. So again, as he said, frustration healthy actually helps you get towards your goals. Because if you get frustrated, oh man, how can I, change my approach? But extreme anger, road rage, yelling at people on Facebook, not beneficial at all. It's all an illusion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.